This April, 12 hermits will stop at nothing to achieve everything. My name is Pixel Riffs, and this is the Hardcore Hermits recap.
I just can't believe this.
3 teams have survived their way into week 3 of the Hardcore Hermits competition, and the race to see who can earn the most advancements in 12 episodes continues. But before we dive into the team's progress, a bit of clarification is needed about the scoring system, since the scores in the last episode left a few people rightfully confused. Each team gets a point every time one hermit completes an advancement, so all 3 team members get the advancement, that's 3 points. But the advancement screen has these root advancements that basically start off each category: Minecraft, Adventure, Husbandry, Nether, and the End. They don't appear in the chat, but they pop up on the screen as advancement toasts when you earn the first advancement in that category, and they do count towards each team's score in this case. Azuma clarified this in a thread on Reddit back at the start of the competition, so if it looks to you like we've awarded Team Zit 12 more points than they've earned in their handy on-screen advancement counter, it's because that counter doesn't include the root advancements, and our scoring system does. So, with that hopefully cleared up, let's dive into the events of Hardcore Hermits episodes 7 through 9. Once again, this is unmapped territory, so here be spoilers.
This is the episode where Biffa hoes for 20 minutes.
Team Ugly Sweater, or Dodgy Jumper, depending on who you ask, promised us a hoedown, and a hoedown is what we get in episode 7, which is technically Biffa's episode 5 and iJevin's episode 4, but who's counting these days? Biffa gets a bit of a head start, but Jevin catches up after encountering a weird bug where he can't seem to use the enchanting table he's just placed, and soon enough they've got their farming implements in as many area codes as possible.
This is gonna take
Oh my god, this is gonna take so long.
The long grass gets in the way, water gets thrown down, and they get their boots stuck in blocks, but Biffa emerges victorious by a matter of seconds, becoming the first of our teams to get the serious dedication advancement.
Yeah!
Oh, damn. No.
iJevin is not far behind, and returning to the bugged-out enchantment table, they discover the second time's the charm, bag themselves a quick few defensive enchants, and set their sights on finding an end portal. But first, they'd better return to the Nether to take on some blazes, the better to get the blaze powder needed for Eyes of Ender. For now, Team Zit has all the blaze powder they need, at least enough to brew the healing potions they have to rely on to stay alive.
I'm gonna take another.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take another.
Wait, it's not done. You put that back.
Oh.
With the confidence of people carrying Healing 2 potions in their inventories, they head down into the caves and start poking holes in the rock for diamonds. Zedaf gets a little more than he bargained for, finding an abandoned mineshaft full of things that give him heart attacks,
Oh, it's fine. Oh, I might have just had a mini heart attack.
and the occasional minecart chest full of trash. Tango's lucky streak still seems intent on carrying the whole team though, as he's the first to find the diamonds they need. Although, with all that lava around, things were bound to get a little heated.
Oh, I found more diamonds.
I did.
The mine, Tango.
Get out of here!
I found them.
Returning to the surface to find that night has fallen, Tango helps Impulse lure some zombie villagers into a trap in the hope of curing them, which naturally is when all hell breaks loose.
It's totally safe in here. Oh, Tango!
Why would you do this?
Get out, you're fine.
How do I get out?
Right there.
Oh my gosh! Why is he not killing?
Oh, no. No.
I'm so good at this.
I have to kill this guy. He's dead. He's dead.
Ah,
Jeez.
That was not cool.
Thank goodness for health potions. Team GFX isn't faring so well either, having to make a hasty escape from their desert roost because husks don't burn in daylight. They cross the desert to a nearby savannah where they hope to find better luck or, at the very least, a few animals to breed. But Scar murders a rabbit, so everything's going to be fine.
I got a rabbit's foot. It's lucky.
Nice.
Combine that with the lucky diorite block, we're unstoppable now.
Finally locating some animals and stumbling upon a savannah village, they climb a few more branches on the advancement tree, and Scar gets the glam rock horse he's always wanted. But they've still got the end on their minds, and this environment is probably still good for hunting Endermen, so they make some quick shelters and settle in for a quiet night. Which is when an all too familiar sound is heard.
And see if more stuff spawns over here.
Trying to get some.
the heck was that?
sprinkler.
Okay.
Oh my god, I know what it is.
That
It's a phantom.
behind you, Azuma.
Just when it looks like Team GFX might be doomed to the same fate as the NHO before them, Scar and False's quick building reflexes and Azuma's purpose-built shelter save them from the Phantom Menace, with the exception of a Rogue One that just wants a hug. Azuma even musters the courage to patrol the perimeter for Enderman, while the others dig down and establish a safe spot to get some sleep.
Come on, then, quick,
Also,
quick,
it's daytime.
quick. Yeah, quick. We're in
Quick,
bed.
Azuma, quick! Quick!
Quick.
So at least at the end of episode 7, the False awakens. The scoreboard gets updated and we queue up episode 8, The Last Jevin. But first, a new ho! Team Zit relaxes into their newfound riches and Tango even finds a visual glitch that gets them a little excited.
Holy bug! I'm multiplying diamonds right now.
Despite the stack of the clones being an illusion, they still have enough to craft 3 diamond hoes, the first of which Zedaf decides to put through its paces in the area around their savannah village, while Impulse returns to the nether to find blazes, and Tango makes some Enderman-proof shelters. Farmer Zed cobbles together a few shelters of his own between swinging his implement around, and finally ends up claiming the advancement before he loses hold on sanity altogether.
Timing is everything. There it is! What?
Farmer said
Oh man, you've been hoeing like crazy.
Fresh from their encounter with the Phantoms and still clutching his rabbit's foot, Scar completes his fortune teller image by recalling a prophecy he made.
There was a prophecy, or it was some episodes ago. I was like, I have a prophecy that a team has fallen already. And that was the exact time that poor B-Dubs met his match.
The Magic 8 Ball isn't telling Team GFX's future though. Ask again later.
Do you have a prophecy that we're going to win?
Oh, I can't speak of that, no. It's secret.
Descending into the caves to search for diamonds and iron, Azuma points out that if the competition had come a little later, they could have included new advancements that were added in a more recent snapshot, but at least that gives them a good excuse to revive Hardcore Hermits for a second season. Searching for the iron the team needs to construct an iron golem, Scar still manages to deflect a few arrows, dispatch a few creepers, and work his way systematically around an abandoned mineshaft, but they soon discover that water is the true enemy.
I
look
can't get out of this water.
Oh,
and
it's
they
so
call me
annoying.
Aqua Scar, help me.
With Aqua Scar otherwise occupied, Azuma and False decide to switch up their tactics, and soon X starts a diamond-level branch mine, while False heads to the nether for a match of ghast tennis. And it's in the nether that we rejoin Team Ugly Sweater, who return to their fortress in search of blazes, only to find it guarded by some sharp-shooting skeletons.
Okay, one's on you, which is fine.
Emerging victorious after a close brush with death and perhaps fueled by adrenaline, Biffa spots a distant Enderman and decides to lure it close to a netherrack shelter, but disaster strikes when he steps too far out of the hole and can't back his way in.
Where's the hole? Where's the hole?
back behind you, go back.
No, I'm gonna die. Oh!
With Biffa eliminated, things don't look too good for Jevin, who decides to soldier on with Biffa coaching him from beyond the grave. They have no idea what's happened to the other teams, so they might as well try. But sadly, they aren't the only ones giving it their best shot, and soon enough, Jevin goes down in a blaze of, well, blazes.
Nope. Damn it. I tried.
Team Ugly Sweater joins the NHO in the honourable ranks of fallen competitors, making it now a head-to-head race between Team GFX and Team Zit as we make our way into episode 9. While the other 2/3 of Team GFX continues splashing around in caves, False Symmetry comes face to giant face with a ghast and decides to return its hospitality. After a couple of solid rallies, she absolutely nails it with a fireball and nets herself a return to sender.
And
Yes!
Oh, nice.
nice
man.
balls.
In the meantime, Azuma and Scar have managed to gather enough iron for golems, and as the designated pumpkin carrier, False gives hers a try first, only to find it doesn't work.
I think I know why. Have you just got a regular pumpkin?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to make some shears and carve it.
They suspect a glitch at first, even after carving the pumpkins, but they soon work out that the grass growing on the savannah must have stopped the golem from spawning, and when False makes a successful attempt in the cave, it even gives Scar the advancement just for watching it all happen.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Is he? Okay, I thought he was killing you.
Okay.
Oh my
No, he
god.
wasn't killing you. I was really scared there.
Yeah.
Azuma constructs his own robotic helper once he's back from the branch mine, and they split up once again, Azuma tracking down his own ghast for some fireball tennis and coaching Scar through the process, while False takes a leaf out of Tango's book and instantly finds some diamonds.
I just love how we just spent at least 40 minutes looking for diamonds and False. Like, comes back, oh, I got my challenge. Oh, diamonds, what the heck?
Return to Sender is also on the menu for Team Zit, and despite having a case of bad ghast, Zedaf is the first to put that thing back where it came from.
Returning.
Tango, you're a genius.
Nope.
No,
Get
you're
in the
exploding.
face.
You're exploding.
This village. Go!
There it
Yes,
is. I did
Are
it.
you dead?
No, I'm fine.
Despite the popular saying it only takes one to tango, and he isn't far behind Zedaf on downing his own ghast and heading back to the safety of the team's Savannah village. Although safety is a relative term, because now the team needs to work on getting ender pearls, which means nighttime, cobblestone shelters, and patience. And as long as the skeletons are at a safe distance, Tango figures there are always a couple more achievements to get, if you've got a good bow and a good aim.
Is that the one
I don't know. Yes!
Oh, so that
Nice.
was far enough. Okay.
Yep.
That's great. I need more arrows.
But as we're learning in this competition, the night is dark and full of terrors. Impulse pillars up to escape the mobs on the ground, but he's forgotten the mobs that bring death from above, and before he can react, a phantom knocks him from his perch and watches him die from full damage.
What are you doing up there, dude?
I think
Help
the phrase
me.
is save me.
Oh, it's a thing, dude! Oh!
Impulse, you fell from a high place.
Dude, it's a thing that killed you!
Things aren't going much better for Zedaf, who angers a local Enderman back at the village and manages to shut the door just in time to trap a baby zombie inside their house, but somehow manages to survive long enough to get into another sticky situation with a creeper. Luckily, Impulse is there to help from beyond the grave.
That's what kind of friends are for.
He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's more useful dead than alive.
That's what spare underpants are for as well.
So the force is strong with Team Zit, but Team GFX still has all their members alive. Who will take the crown as we go into the final week of Hardcore Hermits? We'll have to wait until next week to find out, but I think we can agree that so far, Team Phantom is winning. This Hardcore Hermits recap has been a production of the unofficial Hermitcraft recap, written and edited by me, Pixel Riffs, with script supervision by ZloyXP. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, tune in on Sunday for the Hermitcraft recap, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.